Alright, so let's have compound interest, engineering economy review. So, ano ba yung kaibahan niya sa simple interest? So, yung compound interest, it is calculated on the accumulated amount in the previous compounding period. Unlike sa simple interest, yung ating interest is binibase natin mismo sa pinakaunang pera natin. Kung kailan natin yan hinulog. No? Let's say for example sa isang bank. Dito, for example, let's say ito yung ating cash flow. Let's say at the present time, naghulog tayo ng P, the present amount, the principal amount. After 1 year, yung P natin, yung pera natin, tutubo ng 1 plus I. P times 1 plus I. That's ito yung ating tubo. Okay? Now, at the second year, yung pera natin, hindi na siya magbe-base dito. Magbe-base na siya dito sa previous year, previous compounding period. So, ito yung patutubuin natin. So, from that, patubuin pa natin ng 1 plus I. So, 1 plus I times 1 plus I becomes 1 plus I raised to 2. So, ito yung ibig sabihin ng compound interest. At the third year, ito yung patutubuin natin ng 1 plus I ulit. Ito, from the second year, tumubo ulit siya ng 1 plus I. And so on and so forth kung ilan yung compounding period natin. So, 1 plus I squared quantity 1 plus I, that's 1 plus I raised to 3. Or, in general, the future amount at any time compounding period can be written as P 1 plus I raised to N. No? So, iba na yung formula natin for simple interest. So, yung ating P is the principal amount, F is the future value, I is the interest rate per compounding period. Hindi na siya per year. Sa simple interest period. Yung N is compounding period. Hindi din yan number of years. Depende yan sa mode of compounding natin. Okay. Now, meron tayong tinatawag na nominal interest rate. This is very important kung nagsosolve tayo ng mga engineering economy problems, especially sa engineering. Alright, this specifies the rate of interest and the number of interest period per year. Alright, that's per year. Now, yung interest rate per compounding period. Interest rate per compounding period. Let's say you have the nominal interest rate per I sub n. Ito. Yung interest rate per compounding period from the word per compounding period. So that should be I sub n, that's per year, divided by the mode of compounding. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin dyan? For example, given ka ng I sub n na nominal interest rate na 10% per year, compounded monthly. Compounded monthly. So yung I natin dyan is the 10% divided by 12 kasi per month yung mode of compounding natin. Alright, so ito yung ibig sabihin dyan. I sub n over m. So yung m, different values of m, common values. If it is compounding annually, ibig sabihin per year, m is just equal to 1. Now, kung compounding annually lang siya, yung I natin is automatically equal to the nominal interest rate. Pag compounded semi-annually, that means kalahati ng isang taon. For every 6 months, nag-compound yung ating pera. So, mode of compounding M is equal to 2. No? 2 beses sa isang taon, tumubo yung ating pera. Pag sinabing quarterly, every 3 months. Every quarter. That means that the mode of compounding M is 4. Sa isang taon, 4 na beses nag-compound yung pera. Semi-quarterly o kalahati ng quarters. So, if every quarter of a month is of a year is 3 months, semi, kalahati ng 3 months per 1.5 months. Meaning, nag-compound yung pera natin 8 beses sa isang taon. Pag per month or monthly, very obvious, nag-compound yung pera natin ng 12 times. Bi-monthly. So, pag bi-monthly, per 2 months yan. Okay? At least we need to familiarize these words, bi-monthly. So, every 2 months, ibig sabihin, nag-compound yung pera natin ng 6 times. Semi-monthly. So, semi represents half. No? That means half. So, every kalahati ng buwan. So, kung nag-compound yung ating pera every half of the month, then the mode of compounding is 24 times in a year. Weekly naman, that is per 7 days. 7 days is 1 week. So, ilang weeks sa isang taon? Simply divide the number of days in a year, which is 365 days, divided by 7 days. You'll get 52 point something. Pero yung ginagamit natin dyan is 52, mode of compounding. Again, nominal interest rate. Pero, meron tayong tinatawag na effective rate of interest. E sub R. Okay, this is the actual or the exact rate of interest earned on the principal during 1 year period. On the principal. Let's say at any time, sa pagkuha ng rate of interest, i-ratio lang natin yung pera natin. Say for example, at 2 years, kung ratio of the money in the second year and the first year. Pwede rin at the third year and the second year. Pwede rin ratio ng pera natin at the fourth and the third year. Basta yung preceding and previous year. So we can rewrite that one. We can write that one generally by this one. So this is our money. Let's say for example, the time is 3 and 4 years. Okay, the T is the number of years. Let's say that's 3 years. Ito naman, 3 plus 1. So 4 years. If T is 4 years, then yung ating pera sa preceding year is, yung ating compound time is T plus 4 plus 1 year. So 5 years. Basta preceding years ito. M is the mode of compounding. Minus 1 para maging percent siya. So kung i-simplify natin yan, this will give us this formula. 1 plus I raised to M minus 1. Effective rate of interest. Anong kaibahan nila, sir? Ito, actually magiging equal yung ating nominal interest rate. Ito. And the effective rate if the compounding period is 1. Or annually yung ating mode of compounding. Equal lang yan. Magbabago lang yung ating, magdi-differ lang natin yung IN natin, nominal interest rate and AR, pag hindi na siya annually. Yan, kasi hindi na siya per annual yung tubo. Meron na siyang modes of compounding. Anyway, ito yung ating formula for effective rate of interest. Alright. Now, kanina, specified yung values natin sa mode of compounding. Pero pag sinabing compounded continuously, ibig sabihin infinite amount at any small amount of time tumutubo yung pera natin. No? Or pwede siya per milliseconds tumutubo yung pera natin. So dito, yung mode of compounding M natin is approaching infinity. Alright, from this formula, yung I natin, we know that is nominal interest rate per M divided by M. So, if M is infinity, so ito yung ating I sub N. Yung N naman natin, take note, kung mode of compounding natin is infinity, that should be equal to the number of years T times infinity times M. So, kung i-substitute natin yan dito, yung F equal to 1 plus yung I natin is that 1. Yung N, number of years times infinity, that is also equals to infinite. This term, by using the concept of limits in calculus, the terms becomes E raised to I sub N times the number of years. Galing yan sa concept ng calculus. Basta ito yung ating formula for future amount if compounded continuously. I sub N natin dyan is nominal interest rate compounded continuously. And yung T is the number of years. And yung effective interest rate naman dito, similar lang din ng concept, the ratio of the money, compound amount, no? To the previous amount. So T plus 1 over T minus 1 to become percent. So ito naman yung formula natin, effective rate of interest for compounded continuously, e raised to I sub n minus 1. Okay, so puro pa lang itong mga formulas yung ating dinidiscuss. Then after that, we now have the factors. So from this formula, this 1 plus I raised to n, the 1 plus I raised to n, we call this the compound amount factor. And usually, it is denoted with this format, no? So, bale, naging ano lang yan, cross-multiply lang natin si P dyan. Cross-multiply si P, kaya you have F over P. Nilagyan lang yan ng I and N dyan. For a specified amount of number of, pwede number of years, or number of compounding period. So, we call this the single payment compound amount factor. Kung babalik rin naman natin to, o yung reciprocal dito, alright, so magiging reciprocal lang yan. P over F. O ganun pa rin yung format niya. Ito naman, present worth compound amount factor. Present worth. Yan. Edit ko lang saglit. Present worth. Yan. Present worth compound amount factor. Single present worth. Single payment. Single payment. Ang kulang ng payment. Sandali lang. Alright. Single payment compound amount factor. Edit ko lang saglit. Okay, so let's have our first example. Alright, find the present worth of a future payment of 300,000 to be made in 5 years with an interest of 8% per year, compounded annually. Compounded annually. So, find the present worth of the future payment. That's the future payment. Very obvious. Alright, yung compounding period natin is 5 years. Kasi per annual yung ating interest. Okay, yung I natin is equals to 0.08. 8% or 0.08. So, that's automatically our interest I sa formula natin kasi this is only compounded annually. Alright, so using the formula, we have the F. Yung hinahanap natin is the present worth, P. A direct substitution, N is 5. Kuha natin yung present worth P. 204,174. That's letter D. Ganun lang kadali, no? You just need to identify the given. Dito naman, suppose that interest rate is 10% per year, compounded annually pa rin yan. Walang problema, basta compounded annually. I is 10. What is the minimum amount of money that would have to be invested for 2-year period in order to earn $300 in interest? You need to identify that correctly. In order to earn $300 in interest. So, yung compounding period natin is for 2 years. Yung 300 is the interest for 2 years. Tawagin natin I, interest for 2 years. So, yung interest natin, no, unlike sa simple interest, di yan P, I times time. This is equal to the future amount minus the present amount. Ganun siya dapat. And we know that the future amount is using the formula. Ito. P quantity 1 plus I raised to N minus the present amount. If I is 300,000, $300 equal to P, quantity 1 plus I, 0.1. Yung hinahanap natin dito, yung minimum amount of money that would have to be invested. That's the P, yung in-invest natin. Then minus P. Nakuha natin yung invested, minimum amount to be invested para maka-accumulate tayo ng interest na 300. That's letter A. Okay, next. In 1626, Peter Minuit convinced that the Wappinger Indians to sell him Manhattan Island for $24. Ang hirap na mabasahin. If the Native Americans had to put $24 into a bank account, paying 5% interest, how much would the investment worth in the year 2000 if interests were compounded monthly? Okay, very clear. Compounded monthly. So that 5% is the nominal interest rate compounded monthly. So, bale, yung gusto natin makuha is simply the future amount. Nag-invest tayo ng $24. The present worth is the $24. Alright? The present worth is the $24. Again, nominal interest rate yan. That's per year compounded monthly. So, yung I natin should be equal to I sub n over m. Compounded monthly yan. Kaya, m is 12. So, that's per month na siya. Compounded per month. So, yung n naman natin, that's from year 1626 to year 2000. That will be the difference of the year. So, that is 374 years. Oh, tagal, no? Ang tagal pinatubo ng pera. Simply multiply that one by 12. 1 year every 12 months. Kasi, yung compounding period natin is per 12 months. So, you have 4,488 months. So, yan yung isupply natin dito sa formula. Alright, yung P natin is 24. The quantity 1 plus yung I natin is 0.05 over 12 raised to N. Yung N natin is 4,488. Then, ito yung pera. 3 million. And that's $3 billion, no? Masyadong malaki. Yung formula na makikita natin dito kasi, I over M or R over M, quantity raised to N times M. Yan yung formula, no? Pero ginawa kong general talaga dito sa pag-solve. Okay, next. An amount becomes 1,000 pesos. An amount of 1,000 pesos becomes 1,608.44 after 4 years. So, pinatubo yung 1,000 for 4 years. Compounded by monthly. Every 2 months. Find the nominal interest rate. Find the nominal interest rate. So, let us define. Yung 1,000 is of course our present value. Yung 1,600 is our future amount. Alright. Yung 1,600 is the future amount. So, using this formula, we want to solve for the nominal interest rate. Okay? So, again, yung makikita natin formula dyan, yung I is the compounding period interest talaga. And that is equal to nominal interest rate per mode of compounding M. Yung N naman natin is T, the number of years, times the mode of compounding. Okay? So, if I is equal to I sub N over M, that is equal to I sub N over 6 kasi by monthly per 2 months tayo. So, bali ito yung ating interest per 2 months. Yung N naman natin dito is equal to 4 years times 6. Alright? T, yung number of years T times M. So, 24 by monthly yung ating compounding period. So substituting the value of the value of f equal to p 1000, then 1 plus I sub n over 6. Para makuha natin agad yung nominal interest rate. Pwede I pa lang yung kunin mo dyan, then simply convert that one to nominal interest rate. Anyway, by shift solve, kuha natin siya. You got 12%. This is 12% per year compounded by monthly. Nominal interest. Yung nominal interest ko dito, denoted ko siya as I sub n. Okay, about this one. 1 million was invested to an account earning 8% compounded continuously. So, nag-invest tayo ng 1 million. What is the amount after 20 years? So, masyadong matagal pinatubo. Alright. That should be 1,000 lang. Hindi yan 1 million. That is 1,000. Ha? Masyadong malaki yung 1 million. Patubuin ng 20 years. No? So, 1,000 lang yan. So, I sub n is 8% compounded continuously. Nominal interest rate compounded continuously. Okay, what is the amount after 20 years? Yung T natin is 20 years. So, for compounding continuously, ito yung ating formula for the future amount. We have P, 1,000. E raised to 0.08 compounded continuously times the number of years. Ganun lang. Direct substitution. So, 4,953.03. Okay. How about this one? How many years will 100,000 earn a compound interest of 50,000 if the interest rate is 9% compounded quarterly? So, tingnan nyo yung mga words na ginagamit dito. So, how many years will 100,000? So, yung 100,000 mo yung initial value or the principal amount. Earn a compound interest of 50,000. Yung 50,000 is the interest, yung tinubo ng pera natin. Okay? So, yung hinahanap is the number of years. Ilang taon tutubo yung pera natin ng 50,000. So, yung given interest, nominal interest rate is 9% compounded quarterly. 0.09. Okay? Yung effective, yung ating interest per quarter should be divided by M. So, that's 0.09 divided by 4. Ito yung ating interest per quarter. Okay? So, if the value of interest is equal to the future amount, the difference of the future and the principal amount, and we know that the future amount is by using this formula, yung hahanapin natin is the number of years daw. Okay? So, minus P. Kunin muna natin yung number of compounding period talaga. So, I is 50,000. Then equal to 100,000, your P. Quantity 1 plus I. Yung I natin is per quarter is ito. 0.0225. Then minus 100,000. Okay, pwede natin i-simplify. Transpose that one to the left side. Magiging 150,000. Then I will divide 150 by 100,000. Yung matitira dito is ito na lang. Pwede shift solve or by simplifying this one, para bumaba yung n, ln natin both sides. Ln of this equal to ln on the other side. Okay, property of logarithm, yung exponent dyan pwede natin mababa. Natural logarithm. So, like this. Okay, so we can now solve for n. Cross-multiply natin or i-divide natin siya dito. Yung n will be equal to this divided by ln 1 plus I. That is equivalent to 18.223 quarters. Hindi yan years. That is the number of quarters. Kasi per quarter yung ating compounding. So, if that's 18.223 years, quarters, yung number of years should be equal to 18.223 divided by 4. Kasi 4 quarters is 1 year. No? The answer would be equal to 4.556 years. Now, look at the choices. Wala siyang 4.556. Exactly 3.75. You have 5.76, 4.75, 4.25. So actually, bakit ganito yung choices? That is because the mode of compounding is per quarter. So 0.75 per quarter yan yung fraction dyan. So titingnan natin yan sa cash flow. Let's say the number of quarters. Alright. Let's say dito nag-start yung 4th year natin kasi that's 4 point something. Nag-start si 4th year and nag-end dito si 5th year. So sa isang taon, dinivide natin ng apat na quarters. So bale, this 4th year is the 16th quarter. 4 times 4 is 16. 17th quarter. Dito yung 18th quarter. 19th quarter and 20th quarter. Try to analyze this one. Yung 18.223 is somewhere here. 18.223 quarter. So dito, tutubo ka na ng interest of 50,000. Okay, but take note, in between this one, walang tubo dyan. Yung ating compounding is every quarter. So tumubo dito at 18. Yung next tubo natin is in the 19th quarter pa. So dapat, exact yung values natin dito, it should be at the 19th quarter. Para tumubo talaga siya. Kasi dito, in between 18th at 19th quarter, walang compounding nangyayari dyan. Dito pa yung compounding. Alright, so I hope that is clear. So the answer should be the 19th quarter. Okay, equivalent to number of years, divide that one by 4. The answer should be 4.75 number of years. 4.75. Alright, so I hope you got that one, no? Medyo tricky yung problem na ito. Kasi hindi yan tutubo dito in between. Next. Suppose that a man lends $1,000 for 4 years. For 4 years, 12% per year simple interest. Meron kang 1,000, pinatubo natin for 4 years for simple interest. Now, at the end of the 4 years, he invests the entire amount, which he then has for 10 years at 8% per year, compounded annually na siya. Naging compound interest siya for 10 years after 4 years. How much money will he have at the end of the 14-year period? Maganda dito is gamitin mo yung cash flow para hindi tayo ma-confuse. Alright, say for example, you have here invested 1,000 at the present value. For 4 years, pinatubo natin yan by a simple interest. So, naging yung pera natin from 1,000, tumubo siya. Tawagin ko siyang F sub 4, yung pera natin dito. For this year, N is 4. Simple interest is 12%. For after 4 years, starting from here, the entire amount which he then he invests the entire amount. This entire amount is invested for another 10 years. I-cut ko lang dito. From 4 plus 10 years, that's 14 years overall. Etong lahat ng pera dito, ininvest dan pinatubo. So ito yung ating future amount. Sabihin natin F sub 14 at the end of 14-year period. This time, yung ating interest dito is 8% compounded annually. Hindi na siya simple interest. Of course, 10 years yung ating compounding period dito. Kasi from 4 to 40 or from 10 years. For 10 years. No? So, una, kunin natin yan using simple interest. So, simple interest formula, 1,001 plus I times T. Interest is 12%, 0.12 times time. So, the money at the end of 4th year is 1,480. This is 1,480. After that, i-forward natin siya using compound interest. Alright? So, if the F sub 14, F sub 14 using the compound interest formula, gamitin natin yung formula P. So, bale, ito yung present worth niya relative to this time, 1,480. Pinorward natin siya for 10 years using compound interest formula. 1 plus I. I is 8%. Raised to N. Compounding period is 10. So, that is compounded annually lang. So, we have 3195.21. That's letter B. Diba? Madali lang. Alright, next. On the first year, a man deposit 1,000 in a bank, 8% compounded annually on the first year daw. And he withdraws $80 at the end of the first year. Okay. $90 at the end of the second year, and the remaining balance at the end of the third year. How much does he withdraw at the end of the third year? Okay, mas maganda, again, masterin yung cash flow. Let's say nag-deposit siya ng $1,000 at the present value. On the first day of the year, that's at the zero, pwede siya at the beginning of the year. Nag-deposit siya ng $1,000. Okay. He withdraws 80 at the end of the first year. Nag-withdraw na tayo. I-plot natin sa taas. $80 on the first year. Then, nag-withdraw ng $90 on the second year. Then, yung gusto natin makuha is the remaining balance at the end of third year. Yung makukuha niya at the end of third year. Let's say amount X. How much does he withdraw at the end of the third year? Paano ba to isolve? Paano natin yan kunin? Okay, yung technique dito is using cash flow. Like this one. This 1,000 pesos, that is the equivalent present worth of all of this money na withdraw natin. So, ibalik lang natin. Ano yung formula? Ano yung formula ng present worth? So, yung 80 will be present. I-atras natin. 90, i-atras natin. And yung amount X, which is the unknown, i-atras natin to the present value. Okay, from the formula, F is equal to P quantity 1 plus I raised to N. Kung i-cross multiply natin yan, ito yung formula for the present worth. So, the present worth here is the summation of the present worth of these three withdrawals. Equivalent. The present worth, first, let's say, tawagin ko yung P1, P2, then P3. Okay? So, P1, using that formula, right, yung P natin, by the way, is 1,000. So, P1, with the future value of 80 divided by 1 plus I raised to 1 kasi nasa 1 year yan. Then plus 90 divided by 1 plus I, yung N natin raised to kasi nasa second year yan. And last, X is unknown divided by 1 plus I raised to 3, nasa third year yan. So, kuha natin yung pwede niyang ma-withdraw or remaining balance at the end of the third year. Ganun lang kadali. Basta cash flow yung pagbabasehan natin. Alright. How about this one? A sum of $1,000 is invested now and left for 8 years, at which time the principal is withdrawn. The principal is withdrawn. The interest has accrued is left for another 8 years. This is accrued, no? Hindi yan accrued. If the effective annual interest is 5%, what will be the withdrawal amount at the end of 16th year? Alright, intindihin natin sa cash flow. So, 1,000 is invested now at the present time. I-cut ko lang dito. Let's say ito yung number line natin. Number of years. It is invested 1,000 at the present time. It is left for 8 years. So, bale, tumubo yan ng compound interest for 8 years. Tawagin natin yung yung future value dyan is f sub 8. Okay, pinatubo siya. Pinorward natin. Ganun na naman yung cash flow, forward and backward. Then, at which time the principal is withdrawn. So, at this time daw, yung principal amount, which is 1,000, is i-withdraw. $1,000. Okay. Now, after that, yung net money dito, alright, the interest has accrued is left for another 8 years. So, yung net money dito, pinorward ulit natin for the next 8 years. It is somewhere here. Tawagin natin F16. So, what will be the withdrawal amount at the end of 16th year? Ito yung hinahanap. For the next 8 years. Of course, 8 years yan. From 8th year to 16th year. Difference is 8 years. Madaling-madali lang. So, again, gamitan natin ang formula ng future amount. Okay? So, kunin muna natin yung F sub 8. The F sub 8, starting from here. So, 1,000 pa lang siya dito at the present value. So, ginamitan natin ng compound interest. So, 5% annual interest. So, that's the nominal interest. Pero per year yan, automatically, that is our I. So, ito na ngayon yung pera natin, F sub 8. Alright, so $1,477.46. So, yung net money dito, i-forward ulit natin for 8 years. So, bale yung F sub 16, this becomes our present value on this formula. No? Yan yung present value natin. And that is the difference between these two. This minus this. Kasi kinuha natin yung principal amount. Then, 1 plus I raised to n. Yung n natin dyan from 8 to 16th year is 8 lang din. And that is equal to $705.43. Letter B. Next. What is the present worth of two $100 payments at the end of third and fourth year? Present worth yung hinahanap. The annual interest rate is 8%. So, pag walang binanggit dyan, that is annual, no? Yes, per annual. Binanggit naman pala per annual interest. Tingnan natin yung cash flow. So, third and fourth year. Alright, meron dang two payments, $100 payment. Third and fourth year. What is the present value? Again, ito lang yung formula natin dyan. Tatandaan natin. We want to have the present value, cross multiply. So the present value is the total present value of these two amounts. Okay, i-atras natin. Yan lang yung isipin nyo. Yung P natin is the present value of this. So 100, bale that is a future amount for a third year. Okay, then plus 100 divided by 1 plus I, 8% by the way, then nasa fourth year yan. O ganun lang. Combination of present values na siya. Masterin natin yung cash flow. Next, Which of these gives the lowest effective rate of interest? Lowest effective rate of interest. Ano nga yung effective rate? Using this formula. Isa-isahin natin. I-check natin. 12% compounded annually. 12.35%. For choice A, yung ER natin, compounded annually. So, yung M natin is 1. Or basically, equal lang yan kasi annually yan. That is still 12.35%. No? Basta, again, annually equal lang yung nominal interest rate natin. So, 11.6%, that's the nominal interest rate. Compounded monthly naman. So, yung M natin, compounded monthly, is 12. Alright? Then, yung I naman natin, yung I is the nominal interest rate, 11.6 or 0.116 over 12 over M. Yan yung ating nominal, that's the interest per monthly, per month. Then, you'll get 12.24%. Check natin yung C, compounded quarterly, nominal interest rate. You have 1 plus nominal interest rate divided by 4. This is our I. Interest per quarter. Raised to M minus 1. You have 12.77%. Number 11. Letter D. Compounded semi-quarterly. Half of quarter. So, ilang compounding period yan. M is semi-quarterly. M should be raised to 8. I mean, M is 8. Dali lang. Semi-quarterly. Hindi ko yan na-check. Edit ko lang. Sa flip. Raised to 8. Yeah, raised to 8. So that's 0.1254 or 12.54%. Let us check daw sa calculator. Baka mali yung value ko dyan, ha? Dali lang. I-check lang natin sa calculator. You have yung letter D. 1 plus 0.122 over 8 raised to 8, then minus 12.87 pala, sorry. This should be 12.87. Let me edit lang para makorek natin yung value. Yan. 12.87%. So, gusto natin mahanap yung lowest effective rate. Obviously, this one, 12.24. Pinakamaliit sa apat. Okay? Maraming examples dito. If a savings bank pays 1.5% interest every 3 months, what are the nominal and effective interest rate per year? Yung hinahanap, nominal and effective interest rate. So, yung I, that is per 3 months or per quarter. No, 3 months is every quarter of a year. The nominal interest rate, we know that I is equal to nominal interest divided by mode of compounding. So, per quarter, M is 4. I-multiply lang natin yan ng 1.5%. By the way, 1 and 1/2 is 1.5. So, that's 0.015 times 4. That's our nominal interest. 0.06 or that's 6%. Per year, compounded quarterly yung tawag natin dyan. But the effective rate, so iba yung effective rate dito kasi this is per quarter using this formula. Again, yung M is 4, I is 0.015. That's equal to this. In percentage, 6.136. Look, different talaga sila. Again, mag-i-equal lang yan if compounded annually tayo. M is 1. Effective rate of 1 year. What's 1? $1,000 is invested for 7 months at an interest rate of 1% per month. So this is 1% per month. What is the nominal interest rate? What is the effective interest rate? So yung I given is 1% per month or 0.01 per month. Again, that one is equal to the nominal interest rate per year over the compounded mode of compounding. So the nominal interest rate, same process lang dito, I sub n equal to 0.01 cross multiply that 1 times number of compounding period. So per month yan, so 12 yung ating M. And that is equal to, in percentage, 18%. Per year, compounded monthly yung apelyido dyan. Effective rate, same process using the formula. M now is 12. Of course, yung I natin dyan is itong I natin per compounding period. So, that's equal to 19.56. They are different talaga. Magkaiba talaga sila. Alright, so that's it for compound interest examples.